Gee, I don't have to ring the bell. Welcome this morning. Tēnā koutou te whānau o Auckland Unitarians. Tēnā koutou ngā manahiri. No mai, haere mai ki tēnei wharekarakia a te atoa. Tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Welcome to all from near and far. And far, I mean sometimes all over the globe these days, to this sanctuary. This morning, our focus is best described in a poem entitled To Outgrow the Past by William Lawrence Sullivan. To outgrow the past, but not extinguish it. To be progressive, but not raw. Free, but not mad, critical but not sterile, expectant but not deluded. To be scientific, but not to live on formulas that cut us off from life. To hear amidst clamor the pure, deep tones of the Spirit. To seek the wisdom that liberates and the loyalty that consecrates, to turn both prosperity and adversity into servants of character, to master circumstances by the power of principle, and to conquer death by the splendor of loving trust. This is to attain peace. This is to pass from drear servitude to divine adoption. This is to invest the lowliest life with magnificence and to prepare it for coronation. Spirit of the creative good, be with us when we are afraid. Grant us courage to do what we have to do. Grant us peace that passes all understanding. When we fail to find courage or peace, may we find compassion for our brothers and sisters who also fail. May we sometimes win the prizes that we fight for. And may we then know both pride and compassion. May we be open to the candor of old age and to the freshness of childhood. May we give good memories. May we receive good memories to one another and to ourselves. I now invite you to stand, if you're able, to sing Spirit of Life. Well, they're here in the nick of time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Anybody awake over here?
Just fixing my hair.
Just fixing your hair. It's lovely. Okay, well, today I'm going to tell you a story that it's a little young for you mature folk, but it tells us, it's a version of a very wise Taoist story. And it's actually one of my favorite Taoist stories. So it's called The Adventures of Squirrel and Mouse. One fine day, a mouse and a squirrel set off on an adventure. They walked through a forest. They hoped to reach the field on the other side. This field, they'd heard, had an orchard full of delicious fruit. Sorry. Here we go. What an amazing day, laughed Squirrel as he skipped along. What a wonderful world this orchard is. This orchard is going to be fantastic. Mouse smiled. Maybe, maybe not. She replied, wait and see. Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud, teased Squirrel. This is going to be fun. For though the pair were old friends, they were very different creatures. While Mouse was calm and cool, Squirrel was up and down. He was always getting carried away. Know anybody like that? No? Oh. Just then, the sky grew dark. They looked up to see a swooping shadow. It was a great horned owl. The bird snatched Squirrel and Mouse in her talons. They were carried up and up through the trees, out into the open sky. Oh no, cried the squirrel, it's all over. I'm never going to crunch another apple or nibble another pear. Now I'm owl food. But Mouse, though clasped tight in Owl's claws, wasn't so sure. Maybe, maybe not. Mouse shrugged. Let's wait and see. While Squirrel struggled and panicked, his bushy tail waved in the air. It tickled Owl's nose. Oh, oh, sneezed Owl. It was such a big sneeze. She let go of her lunch. Mouse and Squirrel were free. Hooray, cried Squirrel happily. Here we come, apples. Here we come, pears. We're safe. Maybe, maybe not, said the mouse, the wind ruffling her fur as she fell. Let's wait and see. What's there to worry about? The squirrel asked, laughing. Mouse pointed down at the trees. They were getting nearer and nearer and nearer. Squirrel realized he was plummeting through the sky. Disaster, he cried. Calamities. Squirrels aren't meant to fly. We're going to crash into a tree or thud into the ground. Mouse scratched his nose. Maybe, maybe not. She said, let's wait and see. They didn't crash into a tree, nor did they thud into the ground. Instead, they plopped into a pond, making a very big splash. Whoopee, cried the squirrel. Aren't I clever? I aimed for this pond. Really, I did. Mouse looked doubtful. Now we could hurry on with finding the orchard, Squirrel added. I bet we're close by. Mouse coughed out some water. Maybe, maybe not, she said. Let's wait and see. From deep in the pond, they heard a rumble and grumble. What's that? The squirrel asked nervously before a gigantic fish burst from the water, opening its jaws. It swallowed them in one gulp. Mouse and squirrel found themselves inside the fish's belly. Yuck, Squirrel cried out. This is disgusting. It's dark and wet and smelly. It was all too much for poor Squirrel. We should never have left home, he sobbed. Now we're stuck and there's no way out. Mouse put an arm around her friend's shoulder. Maybe not, she said with a comforting smile. Let's wait and see. At that moment, the fish began to fly through the water. It went faster and faster, and then to their surprise, it was hauled into the air. What on earth? Yelped Squirrel. What's happening? The fish had been caught by a fisherman. Now it dangled on the fish line, while Mouse and Squirrel rolled to and from inside its belly. The fish flopped, trying to escape. As it did so, it turned upside down, opened its mouth, and Mouse and Squirrel fell out. They landed with a splat on the muddy bank. Shaken and confused, they shook themselves dry. Ha ha, laughed Squirrel, we're alive, we're alive. I told you there was nothing to worry about. And what did Mouse say? Maybe, maybe not. As she was wringing out her whiskers. Let's wait and see. They padded down the little path through the wood. Lights shone through the trees. Birds sang. Leaves rustled in the breeze. After a while, they reached the end of the path. They stepped out from the forest into the bright sunlight. Before them, fields and meadows spread out beneath a bright blue sky. It was beautiful. Now, said Squirrel, grinning, where's that orchard? He rubbed his paws together. It's going to be the best thing ever. Mouse smiled at her friend.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Let's wait. So, are you a wait and see kind of person? Or do you panic? Or get all excited when good things happen? You're a fish? I see. Well, I invite you to spend your life reflecting on that moment. And remember Mouse and Squirrel's adventures. Do you have anything to light a joy or concern? Huh? Well, I have a joy. You're going off. I now invite those of you who are not fish, who would like to share a joy or a concern to come forward this time.
I don't think this qualifies as a joy or a concern.
Hey, do it from up here.
I'm speaking loud, I thought
That can't
get
be.
away without the candle and all that. I have a Santa Claus suit, okay? If the church would like it, please take responsibility. It's right up here. Somebody from religious education, do you think the church would like to have a Santa Claus outfit? Give me a little hand.
I think,
No hands? I'll take it back home.
no, we'll find it.
You'll find it.
As long as you'll wear it each year.
Morena, my name is Shireen. This is a candle of deep concern for the people of India. Many of you know I spent a wonderful holiday there 2 years ago. And I just hope that Modi and his government are called to account and voted out.
I light this candle of concern for Kate's sister, Philippa. Some of you will remember me lighting a candle for her some months ago, and her health seemed to be taking a turn for the worse, and we looked as a good sign when she was beginning to talk of her funeral arrangements for herself, which we thought was a positive sign, actually, rather than her hopes of recovery, which seemed increasingly remote, but you had to admire her spirit. And she had part of her foot amputated yesterday in the hospital. And she phoned me after that, and she just wanted to ask about me. How are you? Are you happy? You should be happy. You're a good man. You deserve to be happy. How are things with your life? As she's there in hospital with toes and her heel and some of her foot amputated. So not sure where she'll be when she gets out of hospital. She has been at home with Kate's mom for a long time, but that's not an option when she needs more help to get around the house and such. So yeah, for Kate's sister and her family, Philippa. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Vivian. I'm lighting a candle for the Craftivists, the Unitarian Craftivists. If you haven't heard of them, I went and spent some time with them on Thursday night. And oh my God, I was really absolutely stunned and impressed with what they're doing. They're using craft for activism. And last month they had a project for the Living Wage. This month is for Tree Council, which of course I'm on. And they're creating this beautiful craft. And what made me think of writing a candle today was reading an article about the Chinese activist Ai Weiwei and how he uses art for his activism. So if any of you are interested, do go along and even just a visit on a Thursday night or join them. They're doing some great things.
Good morning, my name is David, and my latest joy is one that I'm wearing, this jacket which arrived from Australia yesterday, and it's to help me run a half marathon. And when you're running a half marathon, you can't carry all the things you might want. So it's full of little pockets. If I want to drink, here's one. If I want some alcohol, this one. If I want my wallet, it's here. If I want it's got 13 pockets. At present, I can only think of 5 things to put in it, but they all make this run a lot more fun than it would be otherwise.
Too soon.
R.I.P. Michael Collins. Well, I'm sure he got satisfaction from the role he played 50 years ago, whatever, 1969. I think it must have been incredibly frustrating as well, being kind of so close and so far away. But a very important person.
I did read that Michael Collins was an introvert, and he really didn't mind having some alone time. A couple of things. One is, like Shireen, I'm concerned about India, but it's more personal than that. I'm very worried about our students that we gave sanctuary to, and I'm not quite sure how we find out how they're doing. So if any of you have some of those contacts, I'd love to know that they're okay and their families. I have another joy. Well, I'm not sure if it's a joy. It's just something to think about. Today I have my second 16-year-old grandson. And how did that happen? And my joy is that we have managed to take care of one another through this pandemic. and that we're all here in various capacities. So for that, and for all those joys and concerns in our hearts and minds, I place this candle. Let us stand, if able, to sing our Koha hymn. My reading is It Matters by Robert Walsh. I knew a man who printed on his stationery this proverb: nothing is settled, everything matters. It established a certain ambiance for reading his letters, as if to say, what you are about to read is to be taken seriously, but is not final. I remember him and his proverbs sometimes, especially when it seems impossible to change the world or myself in any significant way. Sorry, Jim, I say, it's not true that nothing is settled. In the past year, choices have been made, losses have been suffered. There have been growth and decay. There have been commitments and betrayals. None of that can be undone. A year ago, no one knew whether during this year one person would become pregnant, another would get cancer, another would take a new job, another would have an accident, but now it's settled. One day this year, I was present just when someone needed me. Another day, I was busy doing something else when I was needed. One day, I said something to a friend that injured our relationship. Another day, I said something that enabled a person to see life in a new way. The best and the worst of those days is now written. All my tears of joy or sorrow cannot erase it. If I stay with my meditation long enough, the reply comes, Robbie, says Jim, you have misunderstood the proverb. It is true that you cannot escape the consequences of your actions or the chances of the world. But what is not settled is how the story turns out. That is not settled. What is not settled is what the meaning of your life will be. The meaning of a life is not contained within one act, or one day, or 1 year. As long as you are alive, the story of your life is still being told. And the meaning is still open. As long as there is life in the world, the story of the world is still being told. What's done is done, but nothing is settled. And if nothing is settled, then everything matters. Every choice, every act matters. Every word, every deed is making the meaning of your life and the telling of the story of the world. Everything matters in the years you might have ahead. And more importantly, everything matters today. All of which led to my musing, maybe, outgrowing the past. One of the more influential, life-shaping memories I store in my disheveled filing cabinet of a brain is reading King Lear when I was 16. It may have been my first in-depth encounter with the Bard of Avon. While I can give a basic outline of Shakespeare's tragic play, it is not the story itself that haunts me, but one particular interchange between Lear and his fool. The fool tells him, "Thou shouldst not have been old till thou hadst been wise." As an adolescent, at the apex of my idealistic, all things are possible phase, I claimed the fool's admonition as my life's goal. Alas for me, it is now too late to meet the deadline. Maybe I can achieve it before my last breath. Maybe not. My tardiness is in part due to lacking an understanding of what I sought. In spite of being reared not by a philosopher king, but by a philosopher scientist, and his love of Plato and Plato's love of Socrates, whom Plato considered the wisest of all Homo sapiens, meaning wise persons. In spite of knowing that philosophy literally means the love of wisdom, I followed another path, confusing knowledge with wisdom. In my naivete, I thought the more I knew, the wiser I'd be. At 16, having no sense of irony, I foolish thought I could be a know-it-all. Socrates questioned a number of people who claimed to be wise: politicians, generals, poets, craftsmen. And each case concluded, I am likely to be wiser than he to this small extent, that I do not think I know what I do not know. This understanding seems to have once been universal. Confucius believed real knowledge is to know the extent of one's own ignorance. Buddha opined, a fool who recognizes his own ignorance is thereby, in fact, a wise man. But I think Shakespeare put it most poetically. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. The problem with knowledge, while it is often useful in life, is that it is too unreliable to be synonymous with wisdom. It is transitory. While thought true today, it is found wanting tomorrow. Knowledge is like tectonic plates drifting and occasionally colliding, reconfiguring a continent's topography. If you were to state with certainty that New Zealand is part of Antarctica, you would have been right 100 to 80 million years ago. Sometimes our knowledge was never right. Old maps show that explorers once thought California was an island. So holding knowledge must be done lightly, lest it betray you. Not so wisdom. There is one other reason knowledge and wisdom are not the same. Wisdom cannot be taught, only caught in a net woven from our experiences, our honest self-reflection, and our humility. To witness it requires perspective. Have we acted wisely today? Maybe. Maybe not. Only tomorrow will tell. What prompted the above musings? Possibly it was my subconscious processing of the fact that we have just entered my birth month again. Or they might have been induced by one of my grandsons turning 16 today, 6 weeks after my other grandson did. There's another reason. At my age, my cup runneth over with memories, coming to mind without either invitation or a polite RSVP. Almost anything could be a touchstone that awakens them. Memories are both blessings and curses, and often problematic. They are the latter because we have reason to question their authenticity. False memories plague us. Sometimes they are the memories others have of us that we have taken on board as our own. Memories have a tendency to become, oral stories. And like all oral histories, they can be shaped and reshaped in the retelling to suit the purposes of the narrator. As evidence, I offer you the Gospels of Mark, Matthew, and Luke. Stay with me, humanists. Mark was first to be written. It was a compilation of oral stories. Matthew and Luke both began with Mark, but made subtle and not so subtle changes. Sometimes leaving out parts, sometimes changing the timeline, and sometimes adding new material. In the end, there were 3 versions of the same story, each fit for the purpose of grinding different theological axes. Memories bless us by recalling people we loved, adventures we lived, beauty we beheld, little ways we made a difference, and so much more that made our lives worth living. Memories are a curse when our past mistakes, choices, actions, or inactions embarrass, shame, shrink, and demean us. They remind us of our failures and invite us to live in the shadows or deny part of us, lest others will know our flaws. Razik Brown has given some thought to this. Some think we are children who refuse to grow up. I think back on my own life, and I know they are wrong. Would the boy I was approve of the man I am? No. The boy I was would have thrown himself off the nearest bridge just to save himself from future embarrassment. The adolescent I was would have driven the car to get him to the bridge, And the man I was, the year following my father's death, would have plied the boy with strong spirits so the fall wouldn't hurt so bad. But I am not the child I was, the teen I was, nor the man I was then. I am the man I am now. It is all I can ever be. It is all any of us can be. That is the ultimate curse of memories, that we too often let our past follies define us now and lay waste to our future. Instead, maybe we can outgrow our past. Maybe not. Time will tell if we obtain the means to do so. The means required is wisdom, born of aging. Time is wisdom's nursery. We are, of course, all aging, no matter how many breaths we have taken. If we were only born yesterday, we've already inhaled and exhaled 20,000 times. In my case, I will complete 525 million breaths since birth today. That took a while with the calculator. Aging is not always something we welcome. But as it cannot be avoided until after our last breath, we need to make our peace with it. The Reverend Richard Gilbert once wrote, "Aging is the ultimate extreme sport." I've risked arrest and protests. I've skied on some rather scary slopes. I've even tried rock climbing walls, but nothing quite compares with the ultimate extreme sport of aging. Athletes of the spirit find in the aging process quite enough adventure to challenge and satisfy the soul. Aging gives us, in the words of William Sullivan, the chance to outgrow the past, but not extinguish it. Aging is an opportunity. Maybe as long as I keep breathing, I can still achieve that 16-year-old's life goal, or maybe not. As King Lear makes abundantly clear, one can grow old and not be wise. It is a tragic outcome. So I continue to strive to beat the clock and achieve wisdom. I do get glimpses of the possibility of it happening when I celebrate my connections to others, to nature, the cosmos. When my first thoughts are about the well-being of the whole and just not my part of it, when I can laugh at my foibles, past and present, when love is my guiding star and giving it is as important as receiving it, when an unexpected moment shifts my perspective and I can't unsee it, like when I understood that wisdom is a way of seeing our lives and the world from a distance. We can gain that under the shower, on a holiday, on a nature tramp, or simply by getting older. So be it. I now invite you to stand to sing our closing hymn. please join me in the words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the flame of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now it's time for any notices.
Hi, I'm Vivian, Secretary of the Management Committee. Just an early notice of our AGM at the end of the month will be Sunday the 30th. I'll have some more formal notices in next week.
Okay, just letting you know we'll have a singing practice at 11:45 for those who would like to come. Had a great start this morning. Lovely sound, so very promising.
You'll have to meet downstairs again.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Okay.
As long as it's warm.
I got a last minute email from Betsy, who couldn't be here. She sent it to Rachel, who's in Blackball, being a good trade unionist, celebrating May Day down there, working with miners. Let's just say she was a little anxious, but it went well. And the notice says, read what I put in your order of service about quiz night, and letting her know, Betsy that is, that if you're going to be there or not, so she can plan tables and things like that. Any other notices? Can't do anything without the magic tablet here. My closing words are by Rick Hoyt. Go forth, because we are always going forth from somewhere, going from our homes, our childhoods, going from our cities and countries, going from innocence to experience to enlightenment, going into mystery and questions, going into the desert, getting to the other side. Go forth. Leave behind the comfort and community of one place, head into the anxiety and loneliness of another, carry with you the love and laughter of this place, and let it light your way. Carry with you the wisdom you learned and the good memories. May they give you strength through your journey. And when you have been away long enough, far enough, done what you set out to do, been there so long that that place too starts to feel like home, come back. Come back to the one, universal, everywhere, and every when, and everyone's inclusive home. This beloved community of all creation that you can never really leave. Before Frank plays the postlude, I remind you to follow it, to get into small groups. I noticed last week you're cheating. Keep it no more than 6 so that so the introverts can't hide. I'm on to you because I am one. And I've given you your starter question. Who in your life do you consider wise and why?